Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Plasma, and I like rectangles. The elevators we've done so far are nice and all, but sometimes you don't want a square. So let me let you in on a little secret. Sometimes you can do a rectangle if you like this one. Isn't that neat? So since I'm going to do circles, I figured I'd do some of these other shapes. We're going to kick that off with this 3x5 today. Let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see, and let's get started. Alright, so let's dissect a 3x5 elevator. This is what you're going to need. If you look at my hotbar down below, we're going to start with a basic piston elevator, and we're going to put on 4 pistons right here. We're going to have an extra slime block so that we can move it over one, and we're going to have that one observer. Now for the slime, we're going to want to do 3, 4, 4, 4 like this. You're just going to make a pair of L's that close around this one, and then you're going to have a block of 9 over here. We need to have 9 so that this adds up to 12, and we need to have 8 so these add up to 12. And so what you're going to do is you're going to fit some extra blocks underneath it so it adds up. All right, let's go ahead and build it. So come over here. We're going to place this like this. Our piston elevator we always start with. And then we're going to put another block right here. This observer goes into. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of those, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the third block, put our row down. We're going to come up like this to the third block. And this one forms an L, and this one forms an L. And you'll be able to fit this one right through like that. Now, because there's 2 extra blocks to come up to it, this one's got 5, and that's going to need 9 like so. This one only needs 2 of them because it's got 6, and it needs 8. So we're going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. In case you're wondering, I like to not put one here if I can avoid it above this one, because we're going to push this with a piston and then back off. And so if it happens to move down a little bit quicker than we expect, it's going to make the timings a lot more sensitive on our top. So if you're lazy and don't want to have to debug, it's smarter to try not to put a block directly above this one. So I'm going to put 2 here, that makes 8. I'm going to put 2 here, that makes 8. Or you can, if you prefer, you can put 1 here. Either or. And so that's all there is to it. So let's put a top on it and send it off. Actually, we don't want to send a top on it yet until we have this. The reason for that, watch my hotbar, I'm going to switch to, this is what you need for the bottom, is really just a repeater and some redstone. We're going to prime it like this. I'm actually going to do this so that it's down. And we're going to kick it off. And so that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and put a stopper up top so we can work on the next, and then we would be ready to actually do the top. So let's go ahead and do that now. No need to cut or anything. We can stop it as long as we have blocks on all 4 of these, and that should cover it. We just need to have at least 1 block stopping each one so they all stop in sync, because you don't want it out of sync when you put these on. You ready? Of course it works. And so now let's go ahead, and there's 2 ways you can do this. If you want to do this the traditional way that I do it, you can put a piston on the back and do, oh, normally I do it right here. This is what you do. You do one on the back like so, and it would hold that block up against it, and you do one here, here, and here. I'm actually not going to do it that way though. What we're going to do is we're going to come around here, we're going to do it on these 4. Because this is a more interesting way to do it, and you'll run into some problems, but they're not too hard to solve. I just want to show you. So if we were to do it right here, we would need to do it like this. But the problem is, we're going to run into we're going to end up powering a piston that would power right here on this block. And so that's going to be a problem because we can't control the timings of it. So what I recommend is instead, notice how we pulled it off. And so now it would be ready to go down. So we could send it down if we wanted. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to put them on this particular elevator right here. And so instead of putting them underneath, and that gives you the space you need. So if you wanted to do something like this, where you had a block that you were going to push into it, this won't have to worry about being powered. Hang on. Like that. And so that will be able to behave no problem. You won't have to worry about a redstone signal coming in from a repeater up here. And so let's add our delay. So if you will recall from other videos on the 5x5, this is an issue where if we were to power this, because it is also the upward pushing piston, it would cause this half to push up and it would be very unhappy. So we need to have a delay where we hold on to those a little bit longer until they actually need to move. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add a 4-tick delay on each of them because it's pushing this piston and this piston. And so what we want to do is wire it up. And that really should be it, honestly. So if I go and I put, I'm having click issues today. And the sad thing is I don't even want to put it down yet because I want to put the redstone dust down yet so we don't have any issues. Let me go ahead and wire these together, and that's all there is. You are done. And so what we're going to do is now that we're ready, we'll put it on. You can even click on the side of the redstone if you're really careful there. And so that's going to fire, and then that's going to fire. Think it works? Let's see if it works. It works. Now, that's not even the real test, though, because you might know that the obsidian was going to stop it no matter what. And so the real test is if it's going to slip up and hit this and cause problems. This is why it's good to test with your edge, because it's not real until you put these on. So that's actually, there we go. So now, if we did it correctly, it should hit these 4, and it should stop, because that'll be 13 blocks on each one, and it did. And so the final test, it works. Thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. Seriously, let me know. It helps in the algorithm, and I'd love to know what it is you want me to do next. My elevator series has been really popular. Have a good rest of your day, and bye. In case you're still here and wondering about the glowstone in my inventory, that's what I planned on using for the piston. So if you look inside here, you'll see that I have a hidden glowstone right here. And this is the way I usually do them, where I have a light block that acts as a light source, but is also secretly my observer for kicking it off. And so I didn't end up using that. Bye for real this time.